This is the video project for group number 4. We will be discussing the topics of social hierarchy and colonialism by looking at examples from 3 films. Samara will be starting us off by discussing social hierarchies in the movie Elysium. William will be discussing similar hierarchies found in the film In Time. Lastly, Tim will discuss symbols of colonialism found in the film The War of the Worlds.
The role of social stratification in Elysium is a huge overarching theme in the movie. In the movie, it depicts a futuristic Earth in the year 2154 where the planet is visibly diseased and overpopulated, whereas the utopia-like environment, the space station Elysium, is a rich man's dream. The wealth gap between those that live on Earth and the space station of Elysium is apparent, as both environments are stark in comparison. In a society where the poor barely have the means to survive, the film takes a deeper look, albeit through the medium of science fiction, into the allegory of class, the concept of social stratification, and a hint of neoliberalism. Sharing the same director as District 9, Elysium bears resemblance to Neil Blomkamp's blockbuster success in its examination of topoi such as class and inequality. Outrightly against the survival of those on Earth, Elysium delves into the horrors that accompany a staggering wealth gap, as well as the brutal truth that in a world where money buys you life and power, the poor can only withstand so much discrimination. The class disparity in the perspective of those behind the movie allows us to see such social stigmas in a different light. The main character, Max, played by Matt Damon, embarks on a brave journey to achieve Elysian citizenship to better his health, not only for himself, but for the rest of the people on Earth, which bows a nod to the glaringly unfair healthcare systems in the U.S. and the income gap. The concept of neoliberalism plays a role in this movie as the cost of cure for Max's ailment requires him to be a citizen of Elysium, signifying the high price of the treatment.
I'd like to buy some meat, please.
Hey, run!
Yes, have you got hamburger?
Similar to District 9, Keith B. Wagner states in his work on the underlying allegories of the film in District 9, Race and Neoliberalism in Post-Apartheid Johannesburg, states that in several fleeting moments in District 9, we see the extraterrestrials trying to purchase cat food from Nigerians at ridiculously inflated prices. Here, the cat food, a food staple to the extraterrestrials, is being sold off at staggering prices just like health in Elysium. Keith B. Wagner's in-depth look at Neil Blomkamp's neoliberal and racially motivated movie District 9, he asserts that the desire to achieve basic standards of living is an overarching concept that District 9 wrestles with, which is followed suit in Elysium as they try to find a means of survival.
In the movie In Time, society is divided economically. However, the form of currency is converted into time. The poor are contained within their respective levels of society and forced to work to survive, while the rich have unlimited time and freedom. Furthermore, in the movie, the individuals have life clocks embedded in their arm and store and invest time they have earned and measure how much time they have before they die. Upholding this framework are timekeepers who oversee an arrangement of metropolitan time zones which measure the stream of riches and keep the economic power, or time in this case, in the hands of the rich. In this respect, the movie serves as an allegory to our actual society. Our place and power in society is largely determined by our social identity. We are ranked, rich, poor, male, female, and privileged and oppressed. Is this unfair or unjust, or is it natural for us to compete?
You must come from time. You could say I'm gambling my inheritance. You must be young. When you've been 25 for 85 years like I have, and knowing only a random act of violence can take your life, you learn to appreciate what you have. Of course, some think what we have is unfair. The time difference between zones. I've heard that, but hasn't evolution always been unfair? Always been survival of the fittest? This is merely Darwinian capitalism. Natural selection.
Absolutely. The strong survive.
Ordinarily, when we talk about social hierarchies and colonialism, we often think of humans as being the oppressors. It's very rare that we see an example of us being the victims or the ones being oppressed. In the film War of the Worlds, we see this perspective as foreign invaders coming to invade on our native land, the Earth. The invaders in this film are known as tripods. They have little consideration for the native inhabitants of Earth, making no attempt at contact. They only try to conquer and destroy. The humans are subjugated to the status of animals, as they are harvested for the tripods, allowing them to terraform the Earth. The tripods possess superior technology than that of the humans. They use this technology to demonstrate their superiority over humanity, making us the other. In many ways, this parallels the early conquering of the New World, where similar images of Western warships arrive upon the shoreline. The invaders bring with them an invasive weed that destroys living creatures and structures alike. This bloodweed, as it's called, kills humans upon contact. Ultimately, this biological invasion has the opposite effect and leads to the aliens' downfall. This biological invasion parallels history, with early colonizers of India bringing illnesses to the native people and, in return, becoming ill themselves. This lack of biological compatibility found in the film is an extreme case of showing how early colonizers saw natives as evolutionarily separate, or even dirty, despite being a contagion themselves. Although there are many other themes to be found in these films, we hope this project has been valuable to you, giving you perspective on how a film can be read to bring the real problems we face today to light. Thank you.